joined now by Jesse Weber. He's a lawyer. He's a NewsNation contributor. He's a friend of the show. He's also very smart when it comes to this stuff. If I had a dime, Jesse, for the number of times that Miranda got screwed up and a confession got thrown out, I'd be on a yacht somewhere. But there is still, just get me off the ledge and tell me that there's still a way this confession could get in front of a juror.
So there is a few things that we should talk about here. Number one, this is only with respect to what he said in that interrogation room, right? There were statements that he made to a nurse in his jail cell. There were statements that he made to a social worker in his jail cell. The body cam footage, that can still all come in. But talking about the statements in the actual interrogation room that the judge said is suppressed, if Chad Doerman were to take the stand, for instance, or let's say his attorneys bring up a point during trial that directly conflicts with what he said in that interrogation room, those statements could come in, not for the purposes of saying that he killed his kids, but for purposes of saying he's lying. It's used as impeachment. So a jury could say, wait a minute. If you were to take the stand and say, look, I never said anything to law enforcement, well, those statements might be able to come in. And although a jury's not supposed to consider it for the idea that he, I murdered my kids, it's going to be very hard for them to get past that if they hear him say on tape, I did it, And I think that's going to be really important, that there is a way this could come in if the defense should open the door during trial.
Oh, it's called opening the door, and it does happen a lot. And then, thank God you said the social worker and the nurse, he also blabbed to them, because Miranda doesn't cover them. They can say anything they want on a stand as to what he said to them. But then I get to this. The mother and the stepdaughter were also victims in this crime. They were traumatized. They were held at gunpoint. They tried to wrestle the gun away from him. He executed these kids right in front of them, the police say. Do we even need a confession when we have two witnesses, one whose hand was even shot by this man, allegedly? Do we even need the confession with that kind of witness up on two of them on the stand?
Well, look, it certainly helps the prosecution's case to have a defendant's own words, his own confession. But given the gravity of this case, when you have a mother whose hand was allegedly shot, when you have this little girl who was running for help, trying to help her brother escape, that testimony, eyewitnesses to the crime, a victim of what happened, that is so strong for a prosecution's case. And by the way, even looking at the body cam footage of him on the porch, they recover the weapon, he's there. I mean, that's pretty strong evidence. You might not even need his own words to convict him.
And I need to just tell the audience that when you saw those black squares in that body cam video around him, those were the dead bodies of his children. And the jurors will not see black squares. They will see the dead bodies of those children lying all around him. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.